it's done organically, then it's fine.
What do you mean done organically?
Like they're killed.
Humanely?
Yeah.
How do you kill somebody humanely? Could you humanely rape somebody?
No.
Could you humanely murder somebody?
No.
How would humanely slaughtering somebody look like? What would that look like?
Does it mean like it comes from like a good place? Like when it's done organically? Like,
Yeah, it's not
like,
done.
So
not cruelly.
Yeah.
people talk about humane slaughter. What does the word humane mean? No, humane means benevolence. It means to treat somebody kindly. What does the word slaughter mean? To kill somebody in a violent fashion. So how can you... Those two words don't belong together. It's just to make you feel good about something, but when animals go into slaughterhouses, they get shot in the head, they get their throats cut, and they get their skins pulled off and cut into pieces. What's humane about that? Especially as you can just eat something else. So, let me get where I'm coming from. If I asked you if you're an animal lover, you're going to say yeah. If I asked you, were you an animal lover, would you say yes or no? Yeah. I'm an animal lover too. So the question then becomes, why are we paying people to hurt animals when we can just eat something else?
If you ask
have a pet
them,
cow.
if you ask them if they're an animal lover and you ask them, are you a cow lover? They're not going to say yeah. It means like.
So you don't love cows?
No, I don't know from there. And some of us got done.
Do you think that cows should be harmed for an unnecessary reason?
No, but it's
I mean, they
just the way
provide
civilization
that people
is.
need.
But see, there's the thing. You're talking about necessity. I haven't eaten an animal product since I was 19. I'm 54 now. So there's no necessity.
But there's some like some bad things that come from not eating meat.
Like what?
I don't know. You can get like an iron deficiency or something.
Do I look like I'm iron deficient? Those are the myths that the industry want you to believe. So you can get iron from coloured greens like broccoli and cabbage and things like that. Calcium is another myth, protein's another myth. They're all myths that the industry want you to believe so that people keep abusing animals.
Animal abuse is wrong.
Yes, I agree. So you can't say really say you're an animal lover and then buy a product or eat a product that means that animals get shot in the head or get their throats cut.
Well, I am an animal lover because I love cats and dogs and like.
Yeah, so you're a cat and dog lover.
And well, like the pets and the fish.
Yeah, you can't say you're not. You can't say you love something and then pay for them to be killed at the same time. It doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
pay for them to be killed. Other people pay for them to be killed.
Well, if you're consuming the product, you're creating the demand. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's all I'm trying to say to people. That you can eat something else instead. If you can eat something else instead, then how does it tie up to say I'm an?
It comes down to money as well. If you think about it, because if you're paying, there's some things that are vegan that will be much more dear than things that are.
That again is a misconception. I eat very cheaply. You can buy dear vegan products for sure, but rice and pastas and pulses and grains are all the cheapest items in the supermarket. I eat very, very cheaply on a vegan diet. I don't buy but I mean, you go into a restaurant, what's the dearest item in any restaurant? It's a steak, you know? So there's dear animal products and there's dear vegan products. And there's cheap on both sides as well.
But do you not think it's got something to do with the culture as well?
Culture as well?
Yeah. Like
So
if you're Indian, you're in your chicken curry basically.
Yeah.
You can't,
Are you vegan?
you're not going to change the culture.
So there's 4 things that drive people's food choices: is habit, tradition, convenience, and taste. So basically you just do what you've always done. So if you like chicken curry, people just eat it for their whole lives. They never give the animals a second thought. But you can make a curry now with a vegan chicken alternative and it tastes exactly the same. And it means that animals don't have to suffer. It means they don't have to get hung upside down and have their throats cut. You know, if I brought a chicken to you and gave you a knife and said cut its throat and we'll make a chicken curry, could you do it? Or if you eat lamb, so lambs in this country are killed at 16 weeks old, so if I brought a little 16-week-old lamb, the ones you see jumping around fields, and I brought it to you and said, right, we're going to have lamb for dinner tonight, here's a knife.
It's different because we don't kill it.
Yeah.
It's people's job to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, if you take away all the meat supply, those people will not have jobs.
A lot of people have jobs.
But that's no justification for harming animals because, I mean, the arms industry creates jobs. I wouldn't say we should arbitrarily drop bombs on people just because somebody keeps somebody in a job. The cigarette industry keeps people in jobs, but I don't think people should smoke. It's bad for their health. Doing something really, really bad is not a justification for keeping somebody in a job. You know, those people can do something else. Human beings can adapt and move into other things. But everybody can adapt and do something else. So it's okay to say, oh, well, somebody in a slaughterhouse is only doing... And that's exactly what I'm saying. When you're buying the product, you're paying somebody in a slaughterhouse to do something to an animal that neither of you would ever do yourself.
They're saying that they're okay to do it.
Yeah.
It's
nothing to do with us. We just, if we're given food with it, we're gonna...
No, but but it is to do with you because you're consuming the product. You're creating the demand.
There's hundreds and thousands and millions of people also doing it.
I agree.
So
I agree with you. And this is why I'm saying I'm not judging you. And I maybe started off that it sounded judgmental. For 44 years of my life, I paid for it as well. Even though I loved animals and would have never harmed an animal like yourself. I would never have hurt an animal. Yeah, I was paying people to do horrendous things to animals that I would never do myself. And then I watched the speech on YouTube one night and I thought, shit, I have never thought about that before because I'm just brought up in a society where it's normal to eat chicken and it's normal to drink milk and eat cheese and chocolate and all that stuff. But I would never hurt an animal, so why am I paying for other people to do it for me when I can just eat something else? Makes sense, no?
The avocados.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in Cuba, I think it is, that's actually destroying the environment, avocados.
Man,
So, thank you, bye.
So what happened with that conversation? Why did they walk away?
So they were trying to say that the people in slaughterhouses just work there and provide food, and it's not their fault. I was trying to say to them, you're creating the demand. They were like, no, the product's just there and we buy it.
Just miraculously.
So against animal abuse, love animals, but couldn't really make the connection that buying the product.
So his issue was what, that you had an issue?
At the end he asked me to eat avocados.
And what, is that why he walked away?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what, you didn't give an answer?
Well, I was about to give him the answer and say that it's not just vegans that eat avocados, it's like everybody in the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah.